Alright guys, this is a video recording of me going over the homework. So first off, here are the answers to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take a look. It's usually at this point I would take any questions, but since I can't, I'm just going to go over all 4 problems. So if you got something wrong and you're not sure why, you might want to fast forward to that specific problem, or you can just watch the entire thing, make sure you know what you're doing. Alright, so number 1, find the exact area of the trapezoid in simplest radical form. Right? When it says simplest radical form like this, leave your answer with a radical. You do not want to give me a decimal approximation, no rounding. So, trapezoid, it is a triangle and a rectangle. So I'll find the area of both and add them together. You could also use the trapezoid formula, which is the average of the two bases, this guy and this guy, times the height. But I'm just going to add up the areas of the triangle and rectangle. So I see this is a 45, 45, 90, right triangle. And so we know the relationship is x, x, x radical 2. Right? So x radical 2 is equal to 16. What is x equal to? I can solve for x like so. So a common mistake is for people to just say, oh, x is 16 radical 2, because that's the relationship. It is not, right? It is this length, x, this length times radical 2 is going to be the length of the hypotenuse, right? So the equation I'm really trying to solve is x radical 2 equals 16 here. So solving for this, x equals 16 divided by radical 2. If I rationalize, I'll multiply by radical 2 over radical 2. That is 16 rad 2 divided by 8. And so that length is going to be 2 y divided by 8. Where did I get that from? Divided by 2. That is going to equal 8 radical 2. Alright. So these legs here are both 8 rad 2, 8 rad 2, and from here, let's just use our area formulas. So the area of the triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. Right? So 8 times 8 is 64, rad 2 times rad 2 is 2, so 64 times 2 is 128 over 2. The area of the triangle is 64 square units. And let me move that to the side. And let's do the same thing to get the area of the rectangle. So area of the rectangle is just base times height. And that would be, if that's 18, this is 18. 18 times 8 rad 2. And I think that is 64 plus 80, 144 rad 2. So the area of our trapezoid is going to equal 64 plus 144 root 2 square units. And let me just make this look pretty. I will be posting this as an answer key, so there we go. Alright, next. In the diagram, A, B, C, and D are collinear. Find x and y. Alright, so in the yellow triangle, that is a 30, 60, 90. The shorter leg, which would be this one, because it's across from the 30-degree angle, is half the hypotenuse, so that is just equal to 6. This is a 45, 45, 90, so if that is 6, this is 6, right? It's isosceles. Alright, this is across the longer leg. I know in the 30, 60, 90, the relationship is x, x radical 3, and 2x. Right? So in this case, the shortest leg, if we call that, well, I shouldn't call it x because that is also y, right? It's the same. So in this case, the shortest leg y, well, I know y times radical 3 gives me the longer leg, 6. So if I want to solve for the shortest leg, well, that would be 6 divided by radical 3. And again, let's rationalize. Multiply by rad 3 over rad 3. And that gives us 6 radical 3 over 3, which is 2 rad 3. So find x and y. X is 6 units long, and y is 2 radical 3 units long. Alright, moving on. Number 3 here. Let's take a look. Find A, B, C, and D. Alright, so we're given the 60-degree leg, or the leg opposite the 60-degree angle, which means that's the longer leg. And, well, this is very simply a 8 rad 3 16, right? You can think of x rad 3, 2x. So that is very evident that we can just say 8 rad 3, 8 times 2 is 16. All right. Now in our left triangle, that's also a dirty 60, 90. Let me label this. That's the 60-degree side. So our longer leg is going to be the shorter leg times radical 3. So this longer leg would be 8 radical 3, or shorter leg, times radical 3 again. So rad 3 times rad 3 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So D here is 24. And C is going to be 8 radical 3 times 2. And so that is 16 radical 3. Alright. And this last one. Martin is walking his dog. The angle of elevation from Martin's present location to the top of a nearby phone pole is 30 degrees. Angle of elevation from the base of a tree to the top of the phone pole is 45 degrees. If this telephone pole is 42 feet high, how far are Martin and his dog from the tree? So we want to find this distance. Alright, so I know this distance is also 42 because we are going to be assuming that that is a right angle. And also, obviously, I got all these problems from MathBits, so if you want to check them out, they have some couple extra problems that you can try also. But anyway, right, isosceles right triangle, we can assume like a phone pole or a tree coming up from the ground is perpendicular to the ground, so that will also be 42 feet. And in this 30, 60, 90, well, that's the 30-degree side. This would be the shortest side of the 30, 60, 90. So the longer leg would be the shortest leg, 42, times radical 3. And so the distance that we're looking for now would be 42 radical 3 minus 42 feet. And that is it. If you still have any questions, just send me a message on Google Classroom or send me an email. Alright, see you guys later.